Shemai and welcome back to the Welshman's journey. And as probably by this point you can tell, we are at a new club with Bath City. Now it is the 8th of August, which means we're on the verge of starting season 4, which means it took about, I think it was about 3 months to find a job. It was difficult to say the least, and Tafala did actually get relegated in the end, so who cares? Let them go down. So we're at Bath City now in the Vanarama National League South, and I was quite happy because there was a lot of clubs, I think even lower down than this in the Irish leagues and whatnot, that did actually reject me. So I was quite happy with this. We have taken a step back. We are at a semi-professional club, moving from the professional club, but it's not that bad. Local reputation and insecure finances, we'll get to that in a second. So we're at Bath City. I'm quite happy. We've got a couple of rivals, Chippenham and Yeovil, and Newport, Gloucester, Forest Green and Weston-super-Mare. I don't really know if that actually counts. 298 season ticket holders, and it says next election. I'm not really sure what that means. And Jim Rollo is one of the icons who someone I've actually just let go as staff. In terms of affiliates, we have got an affiliation with Fleetwood Town. I have just initiated that to get a little bit of extra cash and see if they've got any players that can come into us. In terms of dynamics, managerial support hasn't started off very well at all. Max cohesion and dressing room atmosphere is going all right. And if we take a look at our players, I think quite a lot of them did oppose me, and they still do. They still do for whatever reason. They just don't like me. So we did a lot of stuff over the summer. I'm not going to play any games today. It's just going to be an introduction to the team, and then we're playing, I think it's Hemel Hempstead in the next episode. Staff-wise, I brought in, I think pretty much everyone is new. We got James Hayter, the ex-Doncaster striker, as our assistant manager. Who else did we bring in of note? Kieran Dawes as a coach, who's pretty good. Louis Langdown and Sam Togwell. I'm sure he was quite a prominent player in his day as well. In terms of our recruitment staff, we did bring in Sylvan Ebanks-Blake, who's a pretty good striker back in his heyday at Wolves. He's got a lot of goals for them. A very decent scout to have in the Vanarama National League North, so I'm happy with that. And you can see here that our staff overall is pretty good for the division. In terms of transfers, there were a lot of transfers in. We'll go to finances first to show why we've only signed 3 players. It's not looking good. We're £295,000 in the red, and it's going to get a lot worse. So ideally I don't want to stay at this club too much because I can't get my extra coaching badges because it costs so much money, and they'll never accept it unless we can somehow save the club financially, which I'm not usually that good at, so probably not. But in terms of transfers, then, we did bring in a lot of players. We brought in a host of players on trial, and then after that we saved money on scouting, and then we signed quite a lot as well. A lot of the players are very young and are basically on the cusp of being really, really good players, and that's what I'm hoping they can do this season. So we got James Carvel, and he came in on a free transfer. Decent current ability. He's got good free first touch. Not the best finishing for a central midfielder. Passing leaves a little bit to be desired as well. But 11 free kick taken, and he's got 12 leadership. So, he's an alright leader. We brought in Neil Bennett as a left back, purely because we had no other left backs and we just needed someone to come in. He'll do a job this season. 18 years old, good physicals, and that's mainly what you need for this division. We also brought Dylan Gale in on loan. He's going to probably be more of a backup midfielder. Probably going to be a good player in the future, but I don't think we'll be able to bring him in. He's only on loan. He's got 14 determination. You can see he's already improving massively this season. Harry Hudson, centre-back, one definitely for the future. Released by Watford. So someone has seen something in him. He's got really good pace, 15 pace. So he's a quick centre-back. Just needs to work on his technicals, which is pretty much the entire team. Lewis Bar Rostron came in on loan from Burton Albion. Good player already, good leadership and good determination. All the players we brought in on loan are going to be players who I think will be really good Football League players in the future, but we're probably not going to be able to afford to bring them in after this season. We also brought in Brandon Hitchman, central midfielder. We've got good numbers, essentially. He was released by Derby. He's got good stamina and a good passing and first touch. I mean, you can't really ask for that much more at this level. We brought in a host of players, and we've got a lot better squad depth. I think we only had about 16, 17 players when I came in, and you can see no one's left. I do want to ship out a couple of players, but some of them don't really want to budge. Lewis Nyman, then, he's definitely one from the future. Didn't have a club last season, actually, according to this thing down here. I'm not really sure why. Released by Leyton Orient, not the best. He's only 21. He'll be a good cover. Geraldo Bajrami, another one who's best, but could improve in the future. Released by Birmingham, and he's brought in on a free as well. He's not getting paid that much. I'm not that bothered. Daniel Rowe on the left, who's probably going to be backup to Sean Lucian, I think. Got a bit of potential about him. I mean, you look at his technicals, and they're really not that good. He's got a good work rate there, and that's something I've been looking for in players, is good work rate, because that's something you really need at this level. He's got all right pace at 10 and 12 acceleration. Good. Harry Lintham as a striker. He was released by Bournemouth. He has played in... Actually, I don't think he's played... No, he hasn't. He hasn't played in this division before. I'm just up there. Decent player. He's got good dribbling and good first touch. We're going to probably play him as a deep lying forward, and I think he's definitely going to be our best deep lying forward. You can see he's already valued at 35k. So if worst comes to worst, we can sell him on for a nice amount of money. Marcus Goldborn, definitely one for the future, but also a good backup player. He's got decent pace, and that's much it really. We'll move on to the next one. James McQuilkin, who's a pretty prominent player around these levels. Last season he played in the Vanarama National, only 12 games, but a 7.06 rating. He's got good track record at this level in the Vanarama National North, which is the same level essentially. So I'm very happy with him as a signing. He's going to be featuring a lot this season. Joe Tompkins as a backup striker. He might start a couple of games at the start, depending on injuries. So he's a good striker to have. I mean, 14 finishing at this level is pretty good. He's a target man, but his height, I need to change the height into feet and inches, because I have no idea what 177 centimeters is. Sean Lucian, then, probably one of our biggest actually not one of our biggest earners. He wanted like £700, but we managed to get him on quite a cheap contract. Played at St Albans last season in the Vanarama setup. Didn't really do much, but for our level, I mean, look at that. 11 crossing, 13 dribbling. There's a lot of green here compared to other players, and his 12 work rate means that he's going to fit in nicely, because we've got a lot of players with good work rate. Morgan Short, then, left midfielder. Someone's going to be backup. He's got good physicals, good stamina, and good pace is what you want in a winger, really. Technically, doesn't really offer that much, but it's all about the physicals at this level. We also brought in Jack James purely as a backup right back. We only had one right back, and this guy's young, got a bit of potential, and worst comes to worst, we can get a bit of money out of it. We also signed Craig Foxall, because our backup goalkeeper is terrible and quite old, so we brought in one who's also quite terrible, but young and has potential. He's got room to grow. He was released by Cambridge. He's actually played Hednesford. Yeah, he's played at this level before. Not very good. 37 games, 81 conceded, but we'll forget about that. And then probably our best striker is Jonathan Afalabi. Played at Whitehawk last season. In this division, actually scored 16 goals. I'd be happy with a 16 goal return. We're not expected to do that much this season. 13 dribbling and 13 finishing is the best of his stats, and the very quick striker as well. So we take a look at our competitions. They both expect us to finish mid-table in the Vanarama National League South, which is probably anywhere between 15th and 10th really. As long as we can avoid getting dragged into a relegation battle, I think we'll be okay. English FA Cup and FA Trophy, 4th qualifying round and 1st round. Really hoping that we can have a decent cup run in both of these. We got good strength and depth, so I think we can do it. But it'd be nice to get a nice financial boost from TV money, and especially the FA Cup. I know there's a lot of money. We look at the rules to get just into the 1st round. Where's the money? Money. Well, all right. To get into the 1st round, 4th qualifying round, £13,000, and then when you make it to the 3rd round, you're talking a lot of money. I'd love to get that far to give us a big financial boost, but I don't think it's going to happen. So the tactic that we're training at the moment, we've got a few tactics trained. We're ready for the first game. And you can see here, there's a lot of 2.5, 3-star players, but within a season, they could easily be 3.5, 4-star players. And that's basically, we're going to try and do our best to keep our job this season, because another sacking could absolutely ruin our reputation. Our reputation's probably ruined from our last sacking, actually. It was on 15%, and now it's back down to 10. So yeah, we need to be careful that we don't get sacked again, because it could really, really ruin our reputation. And as long as we have a solid season and do well and not get sacked, I will be really happy. Unfortunately for us, James McCulkin has been injured, but not for long. So we've got 3 different tactics: 4-2-4, 4-4-2, and a 4-3-1-2 narrow training. I'm going to try and push the 4-4-2 as much as possible, because at this level, that's what you need to do. So we've got it's a tough league. We're currently top. I'd love it if they called it a day right now when we got promoted on alphabetical order. But I hope you enjoyed the episode, guys. We'll just take a quick look actually at season preview, where I expect us to finish. Because of the sign-ins, we have moved up to 7th. So we are expected to finish quite well this season. So I hope you enjoyed that episode, guys. If you did, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And if you have any tips or comments, please leave a comment down below. I'll see you again.